Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update on my 1000 Day Challenge. This is day 802, so let's get things started. Alright, so first and foremost, no change in terms of equity balance wise because I'm not doing any trade right now. Both in terms of a daily or in terms of 4-hour chart, I don't see any potential nice setup right now. And definitely, we do see some more bearish sentiment across the board, or at least a little bit towards leaning this bearish side of things, especially if we look in the S&P 500. Now, percentage wise, you may not see it, but definitely we're gapping down. Potentially, we do find support here and close 90, then there could still be potential reversal on S&P 500. On the Nasdaq one is definitely looking really bearish because we broke decisively below it, and now we're still trending towards the downside. I do potentially think that we could be supported in the short term, at least in the 10K region itself. But bearing in mind, if you look in the grand scheme of things, 10K itself was still quite a decent high compared to the previous market. The last time we touched it, that was only the last time we broke it. That was only in the in the early 20s, in the mid 2020s in that sense. So it's been 2 years since we touched that in that sense. So definitely recovering to that is not exactly bearish in the opinion itself. In fact, retesting that and finding support there could potentially be a really good sign. And I do see support between these 9.7K to 10.3K region itself for the Nasdaq itself. And overall, if you look into ASHRY, it's definitely looking bearish. Like what I mentioned, target will be between this 25.60 to 24.90, this $25 region itself. That will be the key target I'm looking at. If you look in terms of KMAP wise, target wise, I'm looking at will be around the $21 region itself, which is also near the previous low. So I would say 20.30 to $21 region is where the target would be. So let's see how things goes. But definitely things looks to be a very bearish right now. And until things exchange, I will still be leaning towards the bearish side of things. And surprisingly, Bitcoin is not as bearish as it is because I do think that by now it should really broken down below and be reaching near the 16K mark, probably around the 17K mark region itself. But it just seems to be holding up for some reason, which is not a bad thing. I mean, if you're holding in terms of Bitcoin for long-term wise, but if you're keen in terms of buying more Bitcoin wise, then there could potentially be a really good discount between the 16K to 14K mark itself. So that's something I'll be very keen to look at in that sense. And yeah, so that's more or less about it. But if you're looking in terms of the daily and the 4-hour chart itself, it's definitely very choppy right now. And you can see there's a very upswing and downswing over here. So definitely there's been some sort of supportive strength and also selling pressure on Bitcoin and crypto market in general. But right now, I'm definitely staying clear of the market until we see a very nice formation forming whereby the moving averages are aligning properly. Not like this, whereby the moving averages are crisscrossing, and in terms of angle-wise, they're relatively flatlining in that sense. All right, so with that said, I've come to the end of today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop by your comments below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.